how did you approach the collaboration with the different functions? Because, one of the things that I find very interesting is procurement is like the front door to the requester, but in order to do its job, procurement needs a lot of different people to do their job. You need legal, to review sort of timely. You need accounting to not make, requesters' life awful. You need compliance, CSR, all these functions to do their job. They don't know all these people. They just know all these people are involved in buying, but like they blame you. If it's slow, it's kind of you. So how did you navigate building those relationships?
So what I did first is to meet those people. I can take the example of legal. We have the same interest. The idea was to meet them and make them understand that our common goal is to mitigate risk, be a business partner for internal requester, and that we could collaborate with each other in order to cover the more topics possible. Because as you know, one of the struggle of procurement, but it's also a struggle that we are sharing with legal, is that sometimes we are involved in the topic a bit too late. So at least by having a collaboration with legal, we can reduce those type of situation, because either it's legal or procurement involved in the topic,
and you can share the information
with each other. So this is what I actually tried to actually discuss about with legal, and we were sharing the same vision. So it was quite easy to work together. We, of course, also implemented rituals in order to discuss about our common negotiation, common discussion. For some categories, we are actually going in negotiation together. We are negotiating in duo. So yeah, I think it's a collaborative mindset that you should have when you are like.
Another relationship that's very important in companies is procurement and accounting. How did you go about this one?
This is a very good question as well. So I did actually the same methodology, meeting them. It was actually one of the first things I met when I arrived, because we are part of the same team, the finance team. So it was quite logical that I had a first meeting with them. So we discussed about the tool. They were the one using the tool internally outside of finance operation. They were the one using the P2P tool. So we shared challenges, how we can work together. We implemented rituals. We implemented communication channels on Slack, for example, in order to communicate some blockers and work together in order to solve them. So yeah, accounting, it was actually one of the first team I started to work with when I arrived.
Yeah, it's super important, and they end up being the biggest. It's always the case, users of the P2P. And sometimes, like, that when that relationship isn't good between procurement and accounting, it's a disaster.
I agree.
So it's an important one. Obviously there are other teams like, compliance, CSR, but I imagine that these come in a little bit later when you have more maturity in your procurement process.
Yes. Risk team, we are working with them currently to improve the coverage of risk assessment, for example. So
which is important in your business as a sort of banking license.
When I arrived, they were a risk assessment process for critical suppliers, the one related to our position as a payment institution, but we don't have a proper risk assessment for other suppliers. So this is an ongoing discussion. ESG, this is a function that started after procurement. They arrived actually quite recently, the lead and the manager of this team. So we are building a relationship together.
That's another very, I think it's a very sort of important one as well, because procurement is a big lever for impact.
Exactly. And we can help discussing with the supplier, getting them on board on the sustainability aspect, because most of the time we are the first interlocutor of the supplier, so we can help. We can help also on our P2P tool, as you know. So yeah, definitely this is a conversation that is important.
Absolutely.